What up, what up, what up, internet? Who you are, what you be, where you at, what you see. This is Pop Cult Parent, your favorite podcast that talks about pop culture, life, and everything in between. And we're back with another X-Men 97 review episode because you demanded it. You crave it and you need it, and we're here to give it to you, baby. So, so before we do, let everyone introduce themselves. I'm one of your hosts, Mark M.F. Jones, and I'm joined by...
This is Niels R.Y.
And this is Shannon, aka I would help, but it's an election year.
Mm.
And I'm happy to be a guest here.
What he said. Yeah, and we are excited to welcome a great man, a legend in his own right, a person who loves superheroes so much so he wasn't disgusted when he watched the Daredevil movie. This is my personal hero, the great Jason Holton. Jason, how are you doing, sir?
I'm good. I'm happy to be on here, and I appreciate the opportunity to be with the Pop Cult.
Thank you, man. Thank you for being
Welcome.
here. But yeah, like fellas, we're just gonna get right into it. Once again, this show cannot miss. It comes out the gate swinging again. This was episode 7. Some major. We see a lot of the outcome of what happened in Genosha in this episode, and we're gonna hit on a couple beats and keep it moving. But first, I guess Nels, we'll start with Gambit's funeral.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, chime in, jump in. What did you guys think about this thing?
Oh, I'll start off and say this. It was very obvious that Rogue was not there. And that completely caught me off guard because I was just expecting this to be like Rogue's like mourning and like all of that. And so when you're looking around and you were seeing that, I was just like, yo, Rogue's not there. Of course, we see how she spends her time mourning. I don't know what part of the trauma cycle, what the steps of trauma that is. I guess once you have the powers of Miss Marvel, you add an additional step of cause mayhem to the United States.
Yeah, you skipped the they shot Ricky because I was expecting Rose like, oh my baby, they don't kill my baby, like grabbing the casket as they're putting it in the
yes.
Like, oh no, it should have been me.
And you go straight to
all that.
Throwing
trying
military
to hold her.
tanks.
Fainting. Yeah. She's like fainting. She's like, oh no.
No, we didn't get any of that. But man, what we did get was grief.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. It's like there was moments where it just reminded me we have been with these characters for years. And if you add the fact that there was a hiatus between 96 and 2024, we've kind of been with them for decades. And so like we know these characters. And so seeing Gambit, like a funeral of Gambit, that hit hard. And I know y'all want to talk about Nightcrawler, and I think we absolutely should, but like, yo, I was sad. I saw like our characters that we love talking about Gambit or just like experiencing like the funeral of Gambit, and I was legit sad. I was like, man, this is rough. So yeah, it was a powerful scene. Powerful way to start an episode.
Yeah, and it did a great job of even just sort of bringing full circle because they showed some of those characters. I think it was like his brother and somebody or
brother, and then I think that woman was his fiance in the episode.
Yeah. Like even like showing them, and they just do such a great job, like real life. Because I'm like, that's what life is. Like it could be, yo, we ain't seen this person in years, and then so and so died. They're gonna be at the funeral. I'm like that's how life is. But yeah, they did a great job.
And even Wolverine was sad, and you saw him. He was just all he could do is muster just looking away, and like he's so tough, and obviously he's Wolverine, he's indestructible, but and he's not one to show emotions, but that's the most you'll get out of him, and you could tell that he was obviously torn up by Gambit passing.
Yeah, man, everything Nightcrawler once again comes out the gate with the bars, dog. Everything it was beautiful. He's like, I think he was a bluffer. And just he didn't see the potential in himself, and his sins made him a hero. But then to close it off, where every gambler has a tale, Gambit's was modesty. I was like, yo, what? I fell out. I was like, come on. Like, that was beautiful. That was,
You know,
like...
the meme with the guy who just like turns and goes,
Yeah.
that was me after Nightwing hit that, or Nightcrawler hit that line. That was me, yo. Yeah.
Nah, man. Just to add everything in there about him being a gambler, and just that was beautiful, man. Like, the whole funeral scene, it was really well done.
Yeah, man. Anything else to add about the funeral scene?
Well, they missed the traditional New Orleans march.
Oh yeah.
That would have been cool to see. Like, you could tell like the cemetery was New Orleans because it's above ground.
Yeah,
but
they're
they
above
didn't,
sea level.
you know, and as a good nod to sort of where he's from, but they missed like what New Orleans funerals are known for, and that sort of celebratory spirit. But you know, you only got so much to do in 6 minutes, so they did a lot.
That's a good call. Yeah, that's a good call.
That would have been great.
All right, y'all. So we saw one part of the morning, and then we highlighted the other part, which is Rogue. Yo, I have a new appreciation for Rogue. Like, I always thought Rogue was legit. Rogue took on the equivalent of like the Roswell, like a military place.
The base is made
withstand the Hulk.
To contain the Hulk. That facility is made to contain the Hulk, and she just ripped through there like it was nothing.
In a couple minutes. Let me tell y'all something real quick. And this is to not discredit Rogue, all right? Rogue has the powers of Miss Marvel. I'm not discrediting Rogue. She got through there quickly. That is not built for the Hulk, all right? That is not built for the Hulk. That is, somebody is going to get fired.
Yeah.
Hulk would have gone through there too.
But
Ain't
it's
no way.
It's not built for the Hulk to break in. It's built for the Hulk to not break out. Two different things, right? And
very different. Very different.
True.
As Rogue proved. Yo, there was one point where she like swoops down. It's straight anime style. She swoops down with like a high kick, and you just see like the camera shoot down, and then it was a call out to Capcom versus Marvel.
Yep.
Yeah.
When she does her kicks down like that when she's flying, it was a shout out to the video game. And like, they're doing such a great job with this show, man.
Yeah. And then the animation during that scene was just like, so, like we said, they know when to spend the money in this show, and they're like, right now. Spin. It's like the stock market. Buy, sell. Because man, she comes in there, first of all, like breaks through the gate, boom, cracks the cement. And I think you can hear like soldiers like scream like, "Oh God, no,
what are we gonna do?" and they're just like, shoot her. And it's like, come on, like what? That's not gonna.
Yeah, man. Like, we know what time it is. Like, really? Like, let's all just, we going home, Rogue. You know what? Ross is downstairs. I get off in 30 minutes anyway. It ain't worth it.
These benefits ain't that good. Like, I don't know who they got for health insurance, Aetna, Kaiser Permanente, but it ain't worth it.
It ain't worth it. That might not be covered under the insurance. Mutant violence, that's not in one of the clauses.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if you guys noticed when she breaks down in there and Ross is down there. I know the actor passed away, but he definitely, again, Nils, another like check on the board of 97 X-Men coming to the MCU. Ross, that voice actor, I think it's intentional. He sounds like the actor who played Ross in the live action MCU, and like that can't be by accident.
Yeah. And did you notice too? And I mean, again, we might be reading too much into it, but I don't leave anything up to chance with him. Like, even as the sirens and stuff are going off, remember she had him like jacked upside the wall, and like the red light is on him and stuff. So that's like, because eventually he'll be the Red Hulk eventually.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that shit.
I didn't even notice that.
That's a
Yeah.
good catch.
Dang.
Yeah. So, I'm like,
Cut.
yeah, I'm like, you know what? I don't leave nothing up to chance. I'm gonna say everything is intentional.
Yes,
You
yes.
know?
Probably is. It probably is.
I do. I just want in the dialogue during the scene when Roger said, "I thought you were the good guys." He's like, "You," Rogue said, "You killed all them. Now you got me."
Mhm.
Y'all in trouble now.
It's a problem.
It's everybody's
It's a problem.
problem. It is
It's
everybody's
everybody's problem. Yo, so then she goes sees Captain America.
Dope scene.
She wasn't planning to go see Captain America. She like went to like try to find out where old boy is, Gyrick is, and Captain America throws a shield there. I have to know what y'all thoughts are. What do you think was going through Captain America's head when he sees Rogue flying? He knows she's angry. It's like, yo, what do you think was going through Captain America's head? This is what I think was going through his head. I think he's like, yo, whatever she says she's doing, I'm gonna say I'm doing it too.
I'm here for
Yes,
the same
yes.
thing. You too?
Whatever you think you're doing, I'm here too. I'm doing the same thing. And yes, I'm angry about what happened to Genosha. Shame on them. We gonna figure out who did it. I don't want those problems. All right.
Yeah.
She is
He wasn't
angry.
even-
I don't want those problems.
He wasn't even there for that. He was like there doing something else, and he's like, yeah, Genosha, man, you same thing. I'm here for trash. Yeah, let's go. I found something. And he's like, please let there be something down there.
You know what? Going back to your UNC roots, Niels, you know what it reminded me of is Tyler Hansbrough, who was like a tough guy in the NBA, and he would always
Tyler
want smoke with
Hansbrough.
whoever. And then one time he got like hit in the back, he turned around and it was Meta World Peace. And he was like,
Yeah.
my bad, I'm good. That's what, once Captain America, his radar was going, someone's coming, it's Rogue. My bad, I'm good. I'm good, Meta
calm
World
down.
Peace. I'm not messing with you.
Yep.
He's like, man, if the other Avengers were here,
I need backup.
he's like, nah, I'm gonna have to pad this out. Whatever little distress button he had, he was like, he's like
This is how I knew Cap was shook. When she grabbed his shield and threw it to the mountains, he just had a straight face.
Hey.
And was like, let me go get my shield.
Yeah, I got a long walk ahead of me.
You know, on the inside though, he was like, "You's a dirty, you low down." He was calling her all kinds of MFs and
It's like that meme, like you raggedy bitch.
you raggedy. He's climbing that mountain, mother.
He was
Just
upset.
digging in the dirt, just looking for the shield.
It's a cold world. Anything else with Rogue? All right, y'all. So there's a bunch of things that happen. But we eventually realize that the mutants need to go. Oh, and no, there's a call from Boulevard Trask directly to the X-Men. Morph picks up the phone on like the Blackwing, and he says, go to Madripoor. It's clearly a trap, but they still go anyway because it's the only lead, and like they go there. So they go there and they see like the room and see all like the Sentinel equipment. Trask like talks about all the things that's happening and how it's Sinister and then somebody else. And this man turns it into, I mean, we will soon eventually find out he turns into like, and Jason, maybe you can explain more of this, but like he turns into an Omega Sentinel or something of the sorts.
I mean, it has, I can't, I can tell you not from an expert's perspective, but from what I understand, it's all related to the Summers baby, right? And going into the future and experiments that Mr. Sinister and Bastion are trying to create sort of human sentinels. And so that's sort of what he turned into. And they noted that all this tech is from the future, it's far beyond the scope of our technology. And I think I was hoping the Cable tie-in was Cable was going to come back, reverse time somehow, and everyone's going to be fine and Gambit's going to be alive. But I think the Cable tie-in, I'll still hope for that. The Cable tie-in is related to this human sentinel, and he was infected, right, by Mr. Sinister. Bishop takes him to the future to cure him. So perhaps he's going to be critical in stopping this human sentinels from taking over.
Oh no.
Yeah,
It's looking
yeah.
rough. It's looking rough out here. This man, who's not even like the epitome of whatever they're building, took out Rogue with one hit. Went toe to toe with Gene. And you know what? Shout out to Gene. All right. This doesn't happen often because Gene is toxic as hell. But I gotta give her props when she stopped the building, threw it into the ocean, and then went toe to toe with a human sentinel and did not faint. Did not faint. I was like, is this Madeline? Actually, might not be Gene. I ain't never seen Gene do that. Except for when she was the Phoenix. I ain't never seen her do that.
Had a little anime fight, you know? Like, I was like, who's this?
Yeah.
Even the other X-Men was like, yo, who's that? Like, who's the new person?
Madeline got her shook. She's like, I need to step my game up. Ain't no fainting anymore.
Scott,
I gotta get my man back. I gotta step up.
Hey, because Scott was like, oh, you know, he was thinking about you. You thinking about her, aren't you? You know, he's like, well, you know, we had a kid together, Gene. We've been through this, all right. But even before they get to that, like when they first get there and Trask is having his like I'm a monster moment, and he's about to jump off the building and just, you know, it was just, and even when they walked in, I love, let me go back, just when he calls them and he's like, remember, the front lobby always has plenty of Diet Cola. And it is like a little, the morph's like, oh, Diet Cola, and it's a little like secret passageway. I was like, wait a minute, this was the 90s. Like, it was always Diet Cola. Like, you tell me no one went and got a Diet soda and opened up the Someone was just like, what nah. The hell?
Yeah.
They're like, nah, give me the real deal, Holyfield. Well, that fake sweetener. What I look
that
like?
Fake sweetener. But when Trask is like, he's like, I'm a monster and you guys don't know what you're in for and blah blah blah, and Sinister lied to me, whatever. And then when he's about to jump and then Rogue catches him and she's like, yeah, you know, whatever you could tell us, you know, I'd really appreciate it. He's like, that's all I got. And she's like, me too. And just like drops him off like, yo, here we go. And Wolverine was there. He's like, yep. He was like, good decision.
Pleased.
Right decision. Very pleased with the whole thing. He's like,
yeah, it's like she just doing. He said, "What was it? She just doing what all of us were thinking anyway, or something like that."
Like, bro, you are winning today. You found the secret base. You did what we all wanted to do. You were just coming out swinging today.
And you know how we know that Wolverine was right? It's not like no one else has superpowers on this team. Nightcrawler can teleport.
Yes.
Gene has telepathy.
Yes.
They could have saved him.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, oh no, what to do?
Yeah.
They were just like,
no.
Yeah.
They all hit the Family Guy. Oh no.
Yeah.
Like, they just
Try to like look at the wall and be like, oh dang, like if I knew I would have saved him, but I was distracted.
Just reach out a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like Rogue made the decision for everybody. Everybody's just like, I guess this is what we are now.
Gene was trying to act like she's having like an asthma attack. Bro.
Yeah. Again, I'm like it's going back to the intro I had, because I feel like this is gonna be my energy. If I don't want to do it this year, I'm like, hey, I would, but it's an election year. And I feel like that was their thought. They were like, yo, I would have helped, but it's an election year, man. I can't really.
Exactly what happened. All right, there was one. There's a couple of shout outs that we have to do, and we could of course talk more about like the end of the show, but there's a couple of things we got to name. One, we find out that the big bad is Bastion, and we got to give a shout out to Dr. Michael Stevens. He called it first in our episode. I think it was maybe like 3 or 4 episodes ago. He named that like it either could be Cassandra Nova or it could be Bastion. What he shared about Bastion is that Bastion is a combination of Mother Mold and what is his name?
Nimrod.
Yeah.
And Nimrod is like the epitome of a Sentinel from the future. He actually showed up in the show. So like that can explain a lot of the future tech. I don't know much about Bastion. I was curious if y'all know much about Bastion. I know he's definitely in the comic books, and I can assume he's a problem because Nimrod is a problem. Yeah. So if this is a Nimrod and a Master Mode combined, then this is bad for everybody.
The only, like, I don't know a lot about him either, but from X-Men 97, I think he's been in every episode, right? Except for maybe one or two episodes. He's like done some like cameo. You see him for a second, the back of his head or some junk like that. But yeah, like he's been all throughout the episodes. But yeah, like comic wise, like I don't know aside from what we just said there, that it is a combination of Nimrod and Master Mode and shoot.
Yeah. You see great voice acting. Yeah. Like whoever the voice actor was, he nailed it.
Pretty sure it's Theo James. I don't know who that brother is, where he's from, but his name is Theo James. Because I had to look it up. I was like, dude, whoever this is killing it. So
the brother that's written all these episodes, and I can't remember the brother that wrote
Mayo.
Yes, he's been on Twitter confirming Bastion's appearances in every single episode. So if you look at his Twitter history, and if we're on sort of shout outs and predictions, the interesting thing, and I know we're not talking about the Deadpool Wolverine trailer on this podcast, but the tie-in is like, now that this is canon and Deadpool Wolverine is obviously canon, I was wondering about Cassandra Nova for this storyline. Cassandra Nova is in the trailers for Deadpool Wolverine. So my theory is that this actually will tie into Deadpool Wolverine, the movie. So like the series will tie into the movie.
Let them cook.
Yeah. and Niels also knows the other one on my record is Val Cooper's Mystique.
Yes.
I don't know how controversial that is. Val Cooper's Mystique. We're not going like Mystique is going to be in this season, and she has been in this season, is my prediction, and it's Val Cooper.
I like that, but it's like, what does she get out of a genocide? What is Mystique
she wasn't planning on the genocide, but what she's doing right now is running the UN, bruh, and like and Magneto having a spy in the UN this whole time. That is definitely Mystique's, like, that's her Steve's. Jason, I think you are right, and she's still missing.
Yes,
which is another thing, and they straight up named it in the episode that like she's missing. You call that early too. I think you're right. I think that is Mystique.
We'll see.
There's another shout out that we need to do, and that shout out is me, because I said in the episode when Madeline Pryor came out that like we noticed Sinister was in the house by himself, and I was like, from what we know of Sinister, just even from this show, Sinister never works alone. Like he he always got somebody else that he's like plotting with, and it comes to find out that he's plotting with Bastion. So that is something else there. And then the last thing I got is, unless y'all want to, do y'all want to be spoiled? Because this is, I know what OZT is.
Yeah, I know.
But because it's from the comic books. But if you don't want to know yet,
I'm good.
OZT, from my knowledge, I don't know too much about it. I just know it's from the comic books, and it's Operation Zero Tolerance, which is like a super secret government initiative to wipe out mutants. And Bastion is like the leader of all of it. Unlimited resources to just do whatever he can to take out all mutants.
Yes.
Like literally zero tolerance. Like we won't stand for it.
Bastion's from the future. Okay.
Well, Nimrod's from the future. So Bastion's technically from the future.
Well, a part of him is from the future. So Nimrod, even in this universe, would have to come back from the future and meld with a master mold. Is that how we get Bastion?
Yep. That's essentially it.
Well, I'm like, why come to the past? Why come to the past to do that? Why?
I don't know, brother. I guess we're gonna find out. I mean, Nimrod comes back from the past a few times. At least like in comics and in the show, he came to the past, and I don't even remember the Nimrod episode. Maybe y'all do. I do not remember. But I'm assuming to probably take down Xavier because, like, why not? Go ahead,
Yeah.
Shannon.
No, I was agreeing with you because I'm like, I remember him being there because like the way they ended up breaking him was like Storm froze him and then maybe Bishop shot him. They did some mess that like broke him into pieces and then broke those pieces. But as you say that though, I remember there was an episode and I can't remember, this might have been Nimrod, but I remember they did something where someone came into the past and the goal was like to kill Professor X when he was like a college student. And I can't remember if Nimrod was involved in that, but anyway, yeah, just did you mention that because it was something like they was like trying to kill him when he was like a young college student, I guess. So the X-Men and the ideology and all of that would never even get started.
I'm sorry. I'm just laughing because you say like Professor X in college. This brother already like holding it down in space. I could just imagine a young Charles on campus, world in his hand, got his stride in the step, probably laying waste, dog. Just no one's safe. No one's
safe. No one's safe. No one really knows what mutants are.
Young
horny
Charles, reading minds, knowing what these women want. Oh my god.
Charles was a problem.
And you mentioned Bastion and Mr. Sinister. You can't mention that without the fact that Bastion sunned him in that episode. I mean, he wasn't partners. He's like, they're not equal partners. He made it really clear. I'm here, and you tried your stuff back in 1992, and I can't remember the exact line. He made it really clear. It's like, yes, you're here in service of me, and you're lucky to be my company. And he made it very clear in that scene, which was, I thought, a really good one.
He sure did. But Sinister don't get sun like that often, so that was was a beautiful sight.
And he took it.
But did y'all notice he said you're a villain of old or something like that, and then Sinister said you were one of those villains too.
Yep. And I think that's a shout out to Nimrod or Master Mold.
Yeah.
One or the other. Yeah.
Because even then, like he tried to bite back, but like that line was said, but then he was basically like, "Yeah, but I evolved," and even then, it's like, "Okay, well, I ain't really got nothing for that."
He's like, "Man," he's like, "Hey, dogs, well, chill with all that like little stuff. Like, let me show you this space satellite hookup I got going on." He's like, "Whatever."
Let's stay on mission here.
Let's look at Charles. I'm spying on Charles in a whole another galaxy. Let's look at that for a while. Like, come on.
That's gangster. So, I mean, I think we'll see there's 3 episodes left. We'll see what's going on. We know there's going to be multiple seasons. But what is the end goal? Because he still has Magneto. Like, thank God Magneto's still alive. Hallelujah. So, he still has Magneto. He's clearly keeping him alive and groomed for something. And he's about to, like, Xavier is involved in all of this. My prediction and my biggest fear is he's going to turn Magneto into a Sentinel. Man. I don't even want that to happen, but why else keep Magneto alive?
I don't know. And then, like, how poetically evil when he's shaving Magneto with the straight, and like this dude has the power to like mix, like, but like you can't do nothing. So the one thing you could probably save yourself from, and you just got to sit there and like let this guy shave you with a straight edge. Like, I was like, yo, this guy is evil.
The
question I had at the end of the episode, I'm sure everyone had the same question, was, but what about Leech? Like, we gotta, like, he's got to, I'm shout out to Gambit, but if Leech ain't back by the next episode, I don't know if I can watch that anymore.
I don't know, man. Leech is Ash. Leech is gone, dog. That's all they had was the picture, because there's no body.
And what's your boy's name, Shannon? That's your favorite?
I was just thinking. I can't even remember. Was it Herb? Something?
Glob something? I forgot what his name is.
Did he make it? The Glob Herschel? What was his name? Did he make it? Is he all right?
Oh, I don't think so, man. I don't think so.
All right, y'all. There's one other thing that happened in this episode, and I'm just gonna call it Sunspot coming out to his mom, because I mean, pitch for pitch, bar for bar, flow for flow. This was essentially Sunspot coming out to his mom, except for instead of him naming that he had a different sexual preference, he was naming he was a mutant. He was coming out as a mutant to his mom. And I think for obvious reason, this pays homage to like Bo DeMaio as a creator who identifies as a member of the LGBTQ community, that like he wanted to show ways that like how X-Men and the mutants is an allegory for folks who are historically oppressed. And so this is just like one example of like how a conversation like this goes that mirrors conversations that happen in real life. I thought it was beautifully done and painful at the same time, because
they
ahead.
set the mom up. They set the mom up to be like a champion. You're like, oh, okay, she gets her son. She loves it. You're like, oh no, oh, oh
Like,
no.
we got business deals. You can't be, you can't be out here muting, and we got, we got business deal.
Can't be out there clubbing and muting. Come on, we got. But no, it was great. And then like Jubilee's there to coach him through it. Said, okay, just breathe and just say it. And then before they even get there, when she's like, you should tell your parents, like, it's getting real out in here in these streets. Like, this is a map. Like, people are trying to kill mutants, and like, if you don't, like, you could end up dead on the news, and that's how your family's gonna find out. And just that whole ordeal and having to go with those emotions. But yeah, the when he tells his mom, she's like, son, the house burnt down, what is it, like 3 or 4 times? Like, we knew. And you're like, oh man, look at them supporting her son. And then she's like, oh well, she's like, yeah, but you're gonna have to keep it on the down.
That was rough. And again, mirrors a lot of the things that you see in real life too. So that was like tough, because it's not, it'd be lovely if it was just like, hunky-dory fun cartoon. All right,
yeah,
back to what else is on the tube. But like, that's happening every day. Like, those are conversations that are happening every day, and sometimes it doesn't go that nicely. So it's tough. It's tough to see that. Just like, great, I love you for who you are. Don't tell nobody. We got money to make. That's that's a tough pill to swallow.
And I thought at first, I was like, this is wrapping up a little too nicely. But then the X-Men I was like, oh, hold up.
Yeah. I got you.
And I'm like, I can imagine that, like y'all was saying, for that to happen, and even like the family being like, yes, I love you and I understand. But but you can't tell the church, because your dad is trying to be deacon or whatever. So don't tell the church. But
don't tell the church.
Yeah.
You can still sing in the choir. You good. You can still be in the choir.
Yeah, or something else. It was like, but don't go on TV telling people, because we got that business deal coming up, and you can't, we don't even want to mess with that, like,
And I can't take credit for this take, but in just thinking about this episode and researching it, someone made a point around, this is also the mid-90s, where the head policy around folks that identify with gay, in terms of like federal policy and company policy, was don't ask, don't tell, right? So his mom basically was falling in line with that, right? With like, very progressive support, and like, yeah, we knew we accept you, but don't tell nobody, right? Which was like prevalent in the mid-90s.
And even, kind of the conversation Beast had with that newscaster, or the reporter, kind of touched on it, because then when they were in Genosha, Sunspot was like, see, when we flaunt it in their faces, see what happens when we just like put in their faces. And then when Beast is talking to her, and he says the Martin Luther King riots are the language of the unheard, and the classical. She's like, if they just would listen and do what they were told, and no one's going to listen to them, and then, and it's like, where have we heard that
Beast
before?
Just like that,
Lost Beast, she was on track to have a good man in her life, and she lost him like that.
They're on sacred ground. Like, the people, this was like a terrorist attack on all his people, and he's like, oh, so this is what you're gonna say? This is what you gonna say, right? Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, I
Leave
don't have
Genosha.
time.
How dare you? He was pissed.
Yeah,
He was so upset.
like really, right? We're finding bodies still, and you're gonna tell us to like, well, don't get too riled up, like, and then they'll tolerate you. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Don't kneel during the anthem, Cap. We want you to protest a different way, right? Like
exactly,
Wow.
exactly.
Mhm.
And if you read if you read our Instagram comment section, we don't know what we're talking about, and we're just looking for woke signals in X-Men. It's us doing it.
Yeah.
It's not the show. It's just us, just conjuring this stuff up out of our heads.
You know the sad thing, because you brought up social media.
I looked at the comments too.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Niels.
You know what really perturbed me is like, it's not like we were just straight up saying racism. This is racism, y'all. It's because black men were talking about it, just talking about X-Men in general, that they were like, this is a woke agenda. And like, come on, agenda. Bro. We're talking about comic book characters, man.
Go broke.
Like, dang, you chose to take it there and call it a woke agenda. And by the way, it's X-Men. That's what X-Men has always been about. Like,
from day one. From day one.
From day one. Come on,
I'm like,
bro.
I don't know if it's because now, just like the age that I am and the stage we are in life, and some of my experiences and things that I have, done, presented, studied, this and that. But I mean, I feel like in the original X-Men cartoon, like, yes, you can see how that overlaps and everything, but this one, it's like it just hits you in the face. Like, I feel like there's no way you could have watched these episodes and not seen the connection between their oppression and the LGBTQ community, being black or brown, being, anything other than quote unquote, the default. And I'm just like, this is so obvious, So
the reporter called them normal people.
Yeah,
those were her exact words. So
people.
Anything besides normal people. Yeah.
I've said it before on this show. When you go back to the 90s, it's what a lot of sci-fi, because a lot of sci-fi uses a lot of allegory. Yeah. A lot of things that came out back then would be called woke today.
Oh, yeah.
Sarah Connor, you a woman saving the world from AI? Whoa.
Yes.
Ripley. Of course a woman would beat the alien at the end. Whoa. Like a lot of that
Captain
stuff.
Planet and the Planeteers would be called woke.
Indoctrination.
Kwame was the one saying, let our powers combine. He was leading them all. They're like, why do they have the Rainbow Coalition up there representing the planet? Like, come on, bro. It would have been roasted out here now.
Only 2 white characters? It's like there's only 5 of them.
To represent the whole world.
Ridiculous.
You mean you're supposed to have like these people representing the entire world? Why? Because they look like the citizens of the entire world? No. No.
Yeah, man. Whew. All right, y'all. Well, anything else before we wrap up?
I can't wait for the next one, dude. These are just, I look forward to this show. Like, I'm like, Wednesday's coming. All right, X-Men. Like, this is great. And we're getting to the end, and I forget his name again, but the director or showrunner, there's been nothing said about why he was let go. There's rumors, but there's nothing about who's going to be running this show the next couple seasons. And I don't know if there's going to be a whole another James Gunn situation where he gets to come back, but it's going to be interesting because as far as I can tell, this show is pretty universally loved. I think its Rotten Tomatoes score is super high still. So yeah, your move, Disney.
I'll just say, like, yo, I hope it wasn't that bad. I don't know what he did, but I hope it wasn't that bad. Because he's killing it. I kind of want y'all to bring him back. Now, if it was really bad, hey, keep him out. Keep him out.
Hey, keep him out. Keep him out.
I don't even want to know if it's really bad.
Hey, now,
but if it wasn't that bad,
who you sound like? Do you remember that South Park episode where they're on the talk show and he's like, well, I know he talked to the little kids, but it's Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson. Like, what? What are you talking about, Michael Jackson? He's like, Michael Jackson. I mean, come on, Michael. He made
No
Thriller.
comment, Mark. No comment. Anything else before we wrap up the episode?
I'll say one thing, something that worries me. So you know how we're like, man, like Gambit can't be gone. I don't think Gambit's gone. Like like we know there's always window to come back because time travel, this and that. I think we're gonna get Gambit back, but I don't think it's gonna be the Gambit we want. Because
Shannon. Oh my heart. Hey, Shannon.
That's what and the reason I'm saying that is because I'm
no.
like, keep in mind, they keep showing Apocalypse like in the opening credits, but we haven't seen him yet. And you know how Apocalypse is known for like turning people evil into his like horsemen and stuff. So that's been some of my thoughts.
Shannon.
I don't know. I know.
Dang.
If Rogue has to take out a Omega Sentinel Gambit.
Oh.
So I'll say that's been my thought and worry, and I think that might
too much.
Yeah,
Thank y'all for listening. No,
I just want to
done with y'all.
I just want to ask y'all something that I've been seeing like a little Discord online about. What are y'all thoughts on? There's a lot of chatter around Morph and Wolverine are an item in this show. What do you think about that? You think so?
Yeah.
When they was chilling on the wall together. Like,
I saw that.
Just leave.
Like that friendship has evolved. All right. And look, we know Morph has gone through some stuff, and Morph also is, I think, like identifies as like they now at this point. But Morph has the power to turn into anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Wolverine's been alive for a long time. He ain't never had that before. All right, I am confident he has never had that before. I think they're okay.
Another couple sessions in the danger room. More for Wolverine.
That's definitely a pair. Yeah.
Well, good on them.
I just hope that stays healthy, because I feel like that could get unhealthy very quickly.
Sure.
Turn into Sabretooth. Oh, Logan, I don't. Last time. Last time, I don't know, Logan. Do it.
Oh my God. Okay. No, I'm done. Thank you all for listening to another reaction to X-Men 97. We have a new episode every month. You can find us on all social media at Popcult Parent, POPCULTPARENT. Visit us at www.popcultparent.com. Become a member of the Pop Cult at our Patreon, patreon.com/popcultparent, where you can see all our full video episodes. Email us at popcultparent@gmail.com. Don't forget to rate us, review, and subscribe. And as always, join the cult. Peace.
Peace.
Be out.